I had a little extra time this week, and so I made a zine. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, it is Tom, it is FANzine Live, and I have a bit of a surprise both for you and for me. This is a brand new, as of today, Phoenix Productions zine. One I didn't really think I was going to be making at the beginning of the week, but we're here. This is called Dispatches from the Hudson's Bay Company and the Early Fur Trade. I've had some itches that I've wanted to scratch creatively while working on the remastering for the Collected Cranium Frenzy by Steve Willis. And don't get me wrong, I am thrilled that I've been able to do the Collected Cranium Frenzy by Steve Willis. I feel so fulfilled in doing it. However, there is some other stuff that I've wanted to do. And when my son and I, back in July, went up to Canada, we went all the way up to the James Bay. And you can see in this ancient map from the 18th century, the Hudson's Bay is up north in Canada, and then it comes down into the James Bay. And we went to a little place, you can see here at the bottom, Moose F, or Moose Factory. It's an island right at the edge of the Moose River and the James Bay. It is the southernmost point of the Arctic Ocean. And my son and I wanted to go up north and, yes, touch the Arctic Ocean. So here we are, touching the Arctic Ocean. It's really cool. Amazing wilderness, amazing experience. But one of the neat parts of the experience, something I wasn't truly appreciating until I got there, was that this little Moose Factory Island is the headquarters, the 18th century headquarters, of the Hudson's Bay Company in this area. We stayed in this building. It was called the Staff House, and the upper floor had all the lodging rooms. And this was the original building in which the Hudson's Bay Company did their fur trading with First Nations members, French traders, the fur traders, the English fur traders, the explorers. And so you had these people working at this little trading post on the island. The first floor of this building was a museum. And the museum had a number of photographic displays. There was some stuff that you could actually take a look at, and I took a lot of pictures because the likelihood of me ever going back up to Moose Factory is very minimal. But the folks at the Moose Cree Nation were kind enough to let us look around, and so I took tons of pictures. I made a zine out of it. My idea in making this zine was to test some ideas out there. I wanted to work on my layout skills. I wanted to work on my InDesign skills, my Photoshop skills. I wanted to see if I could translate a physical display. And here I can show you some pictures of the display. And then I wanted to translate those pictures into a zine. And you wouldn't do it just straight up. You wouldn't take a picture of a little montage, because they're, for this display that they had, it was a combination of a drawing, a photo, and text. If I just snapped a picture, dropped it in, that would be one thing. It wouldn't look very good. So I was going to try to dress it up and see if I could do something neat with the zine format to make it look better. And I did that with other elements too from the museum. For example, this first page, this is just an introduction, and in the background is a very, very faint picture of the staff house. But this was a display, kind of a plaque that they had. So I took the coat of arms, I took the photo that was at the bottom, and then I retyped the section about this is the background of the Hudson Bay Company. But then you get to this section, And these are these photo displays. And so rather than have these really kind of chintzy, not great layout pictures, I did it this way. I retyped the entire text. I reworked the photo to fit the page. And then what I found most interesting was the drawings. And these are images that the staff of the Hudson's Bay Company sent back to Europe, to England and the like, to tell family and friends what they had seen over here in Northern Ontario. The way that the exhibit was clustered, these are pictures of deer. That's a weird looking deer to me, but I'll take their word for it. This one was interesting. That looks to me like a wolf, the photo, but they called it a dark grizzle fox. I love it. I love the shading. It's a really creative way to draw it. And they did some really cool stuff with the faces and the heads. Let's see if I can get up close for you. I mean, that's really cool. Then they did a page on the whales. And yeah, there are beluga whales up there in the James Bay. Unfortunately, I didn't see any. But there's a page on beluga whales. And look, the whale's even spouting some water off. Canada goose. Now, you can tell the page here didn't last well through the years, but you can still get a sense of the goose and what they had there. This was a piece that was outside the building that we stayed in, historic monument marker. The thing I like about it is in English, it is in French because Canada is a bilingual country, but up in the First Nations Reserve area, they also use the local tongue as well. And so they have this in Cree because the Moose Cree Nation. I find that really interesting. Beavers. And then, so those are the pieces from the display. Then I did a piece on the staff house. And this is the staff house in which we stayed. This is a photo I found from, I think it's the 1940s. We did not stay in the winter, but building that on this side, they actually had a recreation of the actual trading post area. And in there, they had a section on what the currency was. And this is a beaver pelt, all stretched out so that it's ready to send back to Europe, because beaver and the soft fur was extremely popular in Europe. And this was a photo recreation, as was this, of the sign that was on the wall. I did not redo this. I just photoshopped the heck out of it so I could take all the discoloration out and sharpen up the letters and the like. So this one I tried that way. This is an actual photo I took from the wall, but I think it works well, and especially because we're talking now about the currency. And the funny thing about this is that the currency up there was a beaver pelt. Everything related not to the dollar, not to the British pound, not to, they didn't have euros at the time. It was beaver pelts. Everything was traded for beaver pelts. For example, in the 1820s, a blanket or a good knife cost 2 to 3 MBs, or made beavers, like that, while a new rifle ran about 20 to 25 of them. So here's a drawing they had up there on the wall. Again, I just did a straight photo of this, and then I tried to clean it up a little. But this is explaining, kind of giving a sense of the traders coming in to the post. And then talking about the beaver being universal important. It was the standard by which all other furs and merchandise were rated. You got 2 otters, it's worth 1, maybe 2 beavers. You got a fox, same thing. You got a black bear, it's worth 2 beavers. I find that really fascinating. And then this is a picture that was from inside, showing kind of how the trading post operated. They had all the materials around. Then they had the gentleman investigating the skins and making sure that the pelts looked good, and then he would do his trades. And you could see what you could get. You want a dozen buttons, it's worth a beaver. You want 20 fish hooks, it's worth a beaver. You want a gun, 1 for 10, 11, or 12 beavers. So yeah, we did a combination of the sharing of the wonder of discovery, I guess you would say, of the wildlife of Northern Ontario, with a little bit of background on the fur trade at the Hudson's Bay Company staff house where I stayed. Then we wrapped it up, because this is a United FANzine organization. zine. I wrapped it up with a 2-page copy of the checklist, which has a number of great zines in here. And this is a very heavily edited and distilled image of the southern Hudson Bay and then the James Bay. And it shows the major outposts that the Hudson's Bay Company had. So Moose Factory was where we stayed. Looks like got started in 1673. Very, very neat. So yeah, dispatches from the Hudson's Bay Company. I am opening up a co-fi.com or Ko-Fi account, and I'm going to try testing selling some of my inventory of hard copy publications there. This will not be on Amazon. It's a mini comic. Actually, it's a very nicely constructed one. My folks at the copy shop did a great job. We got 80-pound cover, looks like about 28-pound interior. He actually mistakenly gave me color here, and this is a color on the cover as well. I wanted black and white. He didn't charge me for the color, so you guys win if you choose to purchase it. This will be available at the Ko-Fi webpage, and I will put a bar at the bottom with the address for it so that you can pick that up. But yeah, dispatches from the Hudson's Bay Company in the early fur trade. My little adventure up north, reworked, reconfigured, and sharing the knowledge into a zine. Not necessarily a travel log like I did for FANzine number 3, the street art issue, but rather a true reconfiguring to make, hopefully, an interesting narrative and discussion. What do you think? Was this a good exercise? Took me about a day, maybe 2, to pull everything together and rejiggle it and get it all laid out and ready to print. If something like this interests you, even the style of zine, the travel / informational / historical zine, if that interests you, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I'd be really interested to hear what you think about this one. Don't forget, if you are also inclined, like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live. Always appreciate all the views and the subscribers that we've got. And tell your friends, because this is a brand new piece. Literally drops today in the mail. That's it. Thank you for watching. I'm Tom. Catch you next time.